our 2010-2011 edition of Indiana Women's Golf is really exciting. A real mix of returning players, transfers, incoming freshmen that features a lot of depth. We just have a lot of players that can play well, and leading the way are our two seniors. Our senior from Sweden, Cecilia Orvik. Cecilia was a fixture the last couple of years. She's played a lot. She's been very strong. Has posted some really good numbers throughout her career at IU, and I really think, and I'm looking forward to her making an impact on this year's team. She's a strong player, a smart player, and I expect to see her traveling quite a bit. Our senior captain is Lauren Kasecki, Kokomo, Indiana native. Just one of the truly great stories, I think, when you talk about a player that wanted to come to IU. She was a basketball player by definition that turned herself into a really good golfer. LG, as we call her, has pretty much traveled on and off throughout her years here. She's had some great rounds. Most notably, her career low last year at the Mountain View Invitational, shooting 72 in the final round, which was a big round for us, as she threw in a great number and allowed us to shoot, I think it was like 288 or 289. It was fantastic. So I'm looking for a lot from LG this year. Our junior, we have one lone junior, Kristen Kane. She comes to us from Ball State. An outstanding player, probably one of the top one or two players that was in that program. She's coming here for the National Roads Merit Scholarship, I believe is what she's on, but she's a sharp young lady and an exceptional player. Not super long off the tee, but hits a lot of fairways, a lot of greens, very intelligent. And she's traveling this weekend, and I'm looking for her to make a very large mark on the program, not just from the playing standpoint, but kind of bridging that gap between being a transfer, so she's new to this program, but she has the college golf experience, and that's just a great blend that she can help with some of the younger girls and try and get them transitioned in there. Our sophomore class is pretty large, and we picked up one transfer, so our sophomore class has 6 players in it. Returning is Pam Bernetsky, who had an outstanding summer, won her second Washington State Women's Golf Association championship, won her third Tamarack Invitational just before school started. She actually won our qualifying this year, so she's the number one. She's going to be playing number 1 for us this weekend up in Michigan. Kate Coons had an outstanding summer as well, played hard, worked hard on her game. She comes back to us in really good form, as evidenced by her qualifying in the 2nd position. She's done a lot of work, and she has such natural talent, and that she could be really a big time force this year in the Big Ten play. Jackie Yanch from Barrie, Ontario, Canada, comes back to us. Jackie is just a big-time player. She hits the ball long. She's insanely strong. She's worked very hard on her short game. She played all summer long, has had great results. She comes back much more seasoned after a pretty impressive freshman campaign. So I'm really excited about what Jackie's bringing to the table, and I'm looking for her to make a big mark as well. Transferring in from Lehigh University is Rosie Davies. Rosie is from London, England. Rosie is just a big-time player that doesn't quite know that she's a big-time player yet. Long off the tee, great hands, really a good mindset. She's been a huge addition to the team already with just her on-course and off-course demeanor, as well as the numbers that she throws up. She didn't quite make the first trip, but I'm looking for her to play a lot throughout the course of the year. I mean, she can get it around, and she is really someone that we're going to rely on pretty heavily. Rounding out our sophomores, Kylie Works from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Kylie had a really strong summer, worked very hard on her game, came back, had a pretty solid qualifying. I'm looking for Kylie to keep doing what she's doing. I mean, she's great in a leadership role. She does a lot on the golf course, and quite frankly, we can't really imagine our team without Kylie Works. She's that type of a person and player. And then finally, for our sophomores, Molly O'Connor. Molly is in her second year, obviously sophomore, from Wheaton, Illinois. Molly is probably the hardest worker that you're ever going to find. And she worked insanely hard on her golf game. She hits it farther. She's hitting it more consistently. She has really tackled the mental aspect of the game of golf, trying to improve herself there, a strategy standpoint. And she is really poised to just bust into the lineup and make some stuff happen. So, we have a really strong sophomore class, and I'm pretty excited because we have a lot of depth on our team, and it's certainly evidenced by our 6 sophomores that any one of them can play at any time. Rounding out our lineup are our 2 freshmen. Sophie Hayashi is from Carmel, Indiana, by way of the Ledbetter Academy in Bradenton, Florida. Sophie won the Indiana State High School Championship as a sophomore. She is a very accomplished player. She did well down at the Ledbetter School down there. She had a great qualifying. Sophie's, attributes is she has a very big-time work ethic. I mean, she just gets after it, grinds hard, wants to learn, loves the game, loves to play, just loves everything about it. And she qualified number 3 for Michigan, so she can play, and she's going to be legitimately, between her and our other freshman, Lindsay Game, both those girls are legitimate chances of being the Big Ten Freshman of the Year. And it'll be neat to have 2 of them competing for that title, so that they'll be pushing each other very, very hard. So Sophie, is a great player, and again, I'm just looking for great things from Sophie. Lindsay is just an awesome natural talent. Lindsay hits the ball long. She has great iron. She has good hands. She just loves IU. She's loves the program. I mean, she is a really outstanding player, and you're going to see big things come from Lindsay Game down the road, and that's really neat from a coaching perspective. This is our first time where we've had such depth that we've actually won't be traveling some really good players.